What is up? Welcome back to the On The Burst podcast. I'm your coach, Brandon Savage, and I'm joined by my assistant coach, Timmy Moody, through the bye rounds. Had a holiday. Not really a holiday. Timmy the Boogeyman. Timmy, what is going on?
Boogeyman, I like that. The bad man. Ooh, he's coming for you.
The ghost. Dylan Edwards.
I like the Boogeyman.
Not elaborating on that?
No, I was just thinking about it. I just like it. It makes me sound pretty bad. I've never really had a nickname other than Timmy. Like maybe that can stick, the Boogeyman.
No, I should call you Timbo.
Yeah,
Timmins. Timmins. What's been going on in life? I feel like we've gotten straight into the footy a lot recently, but we haven't talked about like life, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember at the start of the year, we'll do like all these segments with like, what was the segment we thought of? It was like
a therapy session.
yeah, therapy session. we haven't done a therapy session.
Yeah.
You were going to be a therapist, weren't you?
I was considering it. Yeah, when I was the year I won Supercoach, I was studying counselling. I was looking to make a change. I was working in hospitality for quite a long time, and yeah, only sort of halfway into studying that course, I found out there was a lot more than that 1 year TAFE course that I was going to need to do on the back end of that to then become an actual qualified counsellor. So it involved a little bit of like university and job placement. It was like a lot of work, and then I did enjoy that process, but taking on other people's problems is not for everybody.
You also
as a profession.
You also need a clear criminal record, don't you?
I've got one of those, but yeah. Yeah.
I went through a red light today.
Did you?
I've got 9 points, so that I googled it, and you get 13, and you get 3 points taken away.
So you got 4 left?
I've got 1 left after this red light processes.
So this time last week, I was going to actually bring this up myself. I've been a bit gloomy and been finding the cost of living just it's really getting tough. Like it's tough for one, yeah. And then I was doing it really tough, and I was having a tough week, and I was really like sort of trying to mentally prepare myself and get around the tough times. And then my boss is like, gave me a piece of paper. He goes, "You got done for being on your phone," and I was like. It was the week after Magic Round, after I went away to remember just being heat. I was like, oh yeah, I deserve that. And I was like, I did deserve that. I was a fiend on the phone, but now I'm really good. I'm heaps like 10 and 2 on the thing. I'm looking in all the directions. I'm waving at police officers as they pass, and I'm in a similar spot. I can't lose any more points either.
Well, after I went through that red light, like I've tried to be good, and then I find myself like looking on my phone. It's a bad habit. I feel like the phones are such a big thing at the moment. It's such a bad habit.
When you get the Neuralink, that's
yeah. And then I find myself like speeding a little bit, like 10 kilometers over.
I'm a 10k kilometer guy, which is not good. But even after getting that fine, I'm like, you got to stick to the limit. And I just find myself, you're doing it again everywhere. Like, and I'm not even in a rush sometimes. It's just it's a bad habit.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a good thing that I learnt this because it's going to break that habit, and that 10Ks could save my life and someone else's. Road ad.
This segment is sponsored by New South Wales Transport. So I guess life's been...
Oh, yeah, just a challenge. It's always a challenge. Just,
Yeah, I moved to Campbelltown recently, and it's a shithole. I hate it. I want to move back to Penrith. Penrith is seriously...
We've got a beach, bro. They don't have a beach in Campbelltown.
I know, Campbelltown doesn't have a beach, and, like, I used to go to my local cafe, which I still try and go to a lot.
Yep.
That same cafe, see all the Penrith players there all the time.
Percy Blanket.
Just make me feel good, like just feel good about life. And now I come up to the sign near my house, and there's a poster there, and it's got Api Coruscant, David Clemmer, and Stefano there, and I'm just like, none of these players excite me at all. Like, I'm walking along the likes of Nathan Cleary, Dylan Edwards, and even when Stephen Crichton and Kickow still live in the area. Now I'm just like, what the fuck's in Campbelltown?
Yeah. It's a different language. Different people.
It is a different language. There's some good sides of it, though. Like, there's good stuff there.
Yeah, like it's western suburbs, but it's a different side. Yeah.
Tell you what, the girls are gangers there. Real gangers.
Oh, yeah?
I've received more unprovoked nude photos.
Oh wow! What are they just
Just like through dating apps and stuff.
Oh,
like,
because you said like from the area, I'm thinking that
no.
they're airdropping them to you or something.
I live in an apartment, just turn my airdrop on and they send me nude photos. Bloody,
I think I might move to Campbelltown.
I'm sure Krishna on floor 3 is bloody stoked to send me a nude photo. But yeah, they're very nice ladies in the Campbelltown area. Very good for my ego, I guess. They're also. I'm not going to elaborate on that anymore.
No.
Let's talk footy.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's talk some footy. Origin. We haven't.
No, I haven't touched on it. It's weird because it's always like about a week later, and because like a week is a long time in rugby league. Like it's not even a week; it's only 6 days. But unless you're sort of on the front foot the next day or the day after to talk about it, it's old information.
Exactly.
It's like people have heard it 100 times before. They've thought about it, or they're thinking about something else. So it's more onto game 3 now, I guess.
You know what's funny? Like Bloke in a Bar levels, Matty Johns, and a couple of others, like they have realised the hunger for Origin podcasts after it, that they usually do all their reviews the day after. All of them did it that night.
Levels did it that night, yeah.
So did Bloke.
Right.
Bloke did it live as well. So like we're 6 days late. We've got no hope.
Yeah. But no, I'm mad. Like it was, I remember we predicting it, and I was, said I feel pretty confident about this one, and I think it might be close, and hope it's 1 point up because that's what I'll put me bet on. I didn't care about that bet of 1 point after we were just going boom, boom, boom.
How good was it?
Yeah, it was just so. I mean, obviously we're not going to touch on it too much, but just so ruthless, and the way I think I sort of said to you guys in the chat something like, it's like every player was just asked to visualize how you want this game to go, which I think a lot of visualizing comes into elite sports and that sort of stuff. And they also hear him say you don't want to overplay and play the game in their head too much.
Play the game before you play the game.
Yeah, but I think there is that level of visualizing the way you do things, and just so there's a bit of that in acting as well. But anyways, I feel like they've done that, and it just translated exactly how, which never really does. You know what I mean? And it was just amazing. But 34-0 at halftime. A part of me kind of wished we just kept going, and it was like a record, like 64, or something like that.
It definitely deserved to be.
But I just had a thought before we pressed the record, because I was just looking at the, bit of the State of Origin stuff, and I thought, had we have done that and just like we rolled them the whole game, it probably might have been worse for us. I think Queensland may have turned up even. Like they're going to turn up game 3 because they're going to be embarrassed about that. The loss as a 1, but that first half. Mainly
clinical New South Wales.
But if we had smashed them 64, I think that it may have done 2 things. It may have just completely mentally ruined them, or because I think they got back a little bit what they needed to in that second half, like mentally. So yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. It's going to be tough, but just seeing how dominant we were, if we can bring that, I know Queensland are going to be more prepared for that, and there's going to be a different vibe and aura being at their home ground, but it's going to be a great game.
It's going to be so good. I'm so keen, and I'm just happy the series is alive, because it felt like after game 1 that there was a good chance that we weren't going to be able to, just because of how it played out. But now the question begs to be asked, if Sully didn't get sent off in that first game, we picked Latrell. I know Latrell didn't do everything, but were we more of a chance? We probably were. No. Or New South Wales.
Yeah. But the thing is, Latrell would have been great in game 1 or whatever, but that game 1 was a separate thing to game 2. Like game 2, we had to win. We kind of needed to win game 1 to give us the confidence that we could win the series, because we wanted to win the series in game 1 and 2 and not have to go and do it in Queensland. But yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Who is your 3-2-1 from the match? So
yeah, I probably agree with Mitch as player of the match. I'd have Angus up there as well. Dylan Brown, Dylan Brown. Dylan Edwards getting mixed up all the time. Was great as well. They're probably my three.
Great shout.
Stephen
I guess Moses 3 for me. Angus Crichton definitely 2. Like I feel like they were definitely the best 2 players. I want to put Lomax 1 point. I feel like Lomax just. It's funny. I was listening to a podcast after game 1, and they said when Nico put up that kick in game 1 that they just knew he was going to come down and score it. That same kick went up.
Yeah, for Moses.
That Moses did, and I just thought of that line, and I'm like, he's not dropping this, is he?
And just the way he catches it and falls like they couldn't even. Yeah, it's mad.
And like just the control to have. Like I've never seen anyone do that. So I think Lomax and his goal kicking. Like, it was very good. I know it really didn't matter in the end, but the fact that he came in and goal kicked, I thought Moses was probably a better goal kicker to go with, but he nailed it. He did what he could. I think Lomax was great. But one topic I do want to touch on, Mitchell Moses. Called in for game 2, 4 try assists, man of the match performance. How does this rate with all-time Origin performances? Because I've heard people compare it to Joey Johns 2005, and it's hard to argue.
Yeah, I don't know about like comparisons, but I remember watching that game and thinking, geez, he's such a big stage, big elite player. And like, you know, when we're talking about if Nath was available for game 3 or whatever, like I feel like I'd just let him have that spot. Although you might go Moses and Nath, I feel like I love that they've got to compete for it now. I feel like Nath's got to earn this spot back.
It's funny, after the grand final performance last year from Nathan Cleary, like the honeymoon period just said to me, like, Nathan, the Origin jersey is not competed with him. Like, he's the best halfback of our generation. But after that performance, like Mitch Moses in Origin, for some reason, I just feel a lot more confident with Mitch Moses in Origin. I know Cleary's a better player, better club player, but he still hasn't proven it quite in Origin. He's had 2 man-of-the-match performances. He's played well, but he just didn't stamp his authority on a game like Moses did. Like, how do they compare as players? Like, how does Moses compare?
Mitch is a couple of years older, so... You know, Nath come into the scene pretty early too and pretty young, so I know he's had his chances, but I don't think he's been terrible either, you know what I mean? And it's a lot to win on that stage. It's a lot to beat that Queensland side, and it's... Yeah, I think if Nath was given that opportunity, I think he probably would have been a part of a winning game. I think it would have been a similar scoreline, to be fair. I think the forwards... were off their head. Like, they just set such a platform. I did say in the chat to you guys, I was like, Madge has got these forwards ready to go to absolute war right now. Like, I was watching him in the sheds, just sort of sitting there talking to Spencer Lino and a few of the others, and just the directness of it, and it was like he was speaking to their fucking soul, and they were just like zoned in, and they were, like, you could feel the goosebumps on the like edge of them. They were like fucking lats, you know what I mean? They were just so big. Yeah, so I just think that it was such a great performance from the whole side that you probably could have taken a couple of places out there. I think it was just more about being ready and just what they were prepared to do. Like the skill level of, you know, interchanging a couple of players, whether it's Suoli or Latrell, or, you know, whether you were to go Nath or Moses hadn't, you know, Nath been available, I don't think it would have changed too much. I just think it was what the team were all buying into, and hopefully they can buy into that again for one more game.
Can you admit that coaching and selection has been crucial to this New South Wales campaign?
Yeah, for sure. I think, hard. Like, for me, I think Madge, I doubted him a bit pre-thing, especially because I know he's had success with the Bunnies, and he's had success with the New Zealand side. But for me, it's just that time at the Tigers, I just seen him sort of upset and angry, really played in my mind of like, is this the right guy? But after like that game, second game particularly, I really like him.
He's the real deal. And I feel like for the second game, I couldn't have chosen a much better side, to be honest. Like, I feel like in the past, we kind of haven't gotten the side we wanted. People haven't been available, or vice versa. And there was no arguments with his game 2 side. And the game plan was exactly what we expected it to be, just through the middle and then tear them apart on the edges. Like,
crazy
so
though
simple.
how people can just want to find something to have a whinge about though. Like I saw so much like people wanting to whinge about the minutes that he played Jake Trbojevic in the second game sort of thing. I'm like, but we won. Like,
and you know what? I think the minutes is a bit of a concern for the captaincy, but why does it matter? Like, if he's there for 20 minutes to take the sting out of the game, 29 minutes to take the sting out of the game,
and a lot of the stuff as a captain is pre-game, like the speech you give him before at training, standards and expectations expect from the others and stuff like that. But yeah, especially when you've got other leaders, like there's you say
there's 17 other club captains there.
Yeah, basically you can pick.
Stephen Crichton's a captain.
Yeah,
He's come leaps and bounds this year as a captain.
Crazy, they're just like saying he's 23. Like when they I was like, geez, he does seem like so mature beyond his years, doesn't he? And such a man.
Yeah, for sure. Moses is club captain. I'm sure Jerome Luai could step in. Isaiah Yeo, Cameron Murray, Payne Haas is the leader. Is
Mitch Moses a duel? Is it him and Gutho?
Him and Gutho, I think.
Or is it just Gutho? I thought it was just Gutho.
Gutho and Paulo.
Yeah.
Moses
acts like the captain. He's all usually yelling at bloody Gutho.
All right. Let's move on to our tips for the week. We're back to a full round of footy, which is exciting. The Parramatta Eels play the South Sydney Rabbitohs on Thursday night. Parramatta Eels coming off a loss, and they have a couple of injuries in the back line. Mike Acevo gone, but he hasn't had his best year. So
it's a tough one to pick, isn't it? Because they both kind of feel like they're obviously on the bottom of the
wins. Yeah, I'm going the Rabbitohs. I think Latrell, Cody, Colin Matangi's playing lock, and Murray is in on the edge. I think they're just like they're starting to get there.
Para's got Hopgood out as well. When you want to add that into the mix, and then you talk about Sevo, and then they've got the debutant on the Tago there as well. Yeah, I'm going to go South too because I think they've got more to play for. There's more belief they can actually turn this into something.
Cronulla Sharks play the Gold Coast Titans. The Cronulla Sharks are at home for $1.37, and the Gold Coast Titans are $3.05. These are one of them ones where I look at and think Cronulla Sharks straight away, but then I look at the Titans and I'm like, this is the kind of upset they've been doing the last few weeks.
Oh, jeez, this would be funny if the Sharks were to the Sharks have been they've been criticised for not being able to play top 8 teams or whatever, and they can can't get it done there. They've sort of had a harder sort of draw for the season. Now their draw gets kind of really good. Imagine if they just went down and bloody because there's a bit of head noise with Nico and lost the last couple, I think.
Yeah, they lost the last one against the Bulldogs.
Last and then maybe 2 or 3 games.
He missed the kick from the corner against the Dolphins as well. So,
could be one of those. I'm going to go with the Sharkies for the bounce back.
I am too. The Penrith Panthers play the Brisbane Broncos at Suncorp. Penrith Panthers are $1.54 and the Broncos at $2.43. I think the Broncos deserve a bit more respect than that.
Grand final rematch.
That's why we've got the balls. And they're not even in camera shot, Timmy.
Yeah, well, they balanced there. They've got a lot of air in them, so I realised they were going to roll around, and I didn't want to cause a fuss.
Go pass the ball.
No, I don't do too many more. There's breakables in here, no passing in the house. You play outside.
Oh. Sorry, Mum.
No worries. I'm going to go the Panthers. I've got to go to Panthers. We need to bounce back after last week with all the boys coming back. I mean, that was pretty embarrassing. I know the Cowboys rested their players as well, and we both had kind of even numbers sort of rested out. But I really would have thought that the Penrith system and the Penrith, development in their juniors, taking this opportunity, it just wasn't.
Schneider's been underwhelming, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was all right at the start of the season there. Yeah, when he first came in, I thought, geez, Penrith are nailing this every year, buying this random halfback to cover Nath, but not...
They've had a few too many injuries in the halves for them. But Jack Cole's doing well. I like Jack Cole and Luai. And after a loss like last week, I'm tipping them as well. The Bulldogs play the Warriors 3 p.m. Saturday. Bulldogs are $1.47 and the Warriors $2.65. This is probably closer than I give the bookies reckon. Bulldogs' defense has been amazing though.
Yeah, it's hard to go against the Doggies, isn't it? There's still like a bit of bad juju, it seems, around the Wars. I know they got the win last week against a very depleted Broncos side, but yeah, we'll see how they go this week. If they can get a win here, maybe that juju's gone. Tamari Martin coming in for SJ.
And he was
seems
great
to be
last
working
week.
well. SJ seems to just be out of touch at the moment. Hopefully he can, find his way back because, be a sad end.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going. I do want to tip the Warriors.
I'm going to go the Dogs just because I don't want. I really don't want them to be too much of a threat though. Like I kind of enjoy them being this sort of like what I thought the Wars were last year at the start of the season, or the Dolphins. Oh, look at this team performing well above their thing, and then the Wars became a genuine threat.
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried that the Doggies. I remember we had that Winston surf shirt episode. Winston, what's his name? Winston Neville. Yeah. I like Winston surf shirt better. That's a funny name. He was, talking them up to be winning grand finals based on all these silly stats and stuff, and I thought it was ridiculous.
It's adding up still. It's adding up still. Shout out to Winston Neville because
he'd be loving it. This is like for we're talking about fantasizing and just manifesting and just sort of picturing it. I feel like he's doing a lot of that at the moment, visualizing how he wants it to go, like a bit like the.
Winston's mother has been doing so much laundry this year. It's ridiculous.
What's that the joke?
Because his pants are constantly wet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The West Tigers play the Melbourne Storm. The Tigers are at $4.40, and the Melbourne Storm are at $1.20. The West Tigers, mind you, are undefeated at Leichhardt this year.
It's a good start.
But I'm going the Storm.
Yep. Me too.
And by the way, I'm tipping the Warriors for the Bulldogs game.
Oh, good. So we've got one different.
Yep. The Cowboys play the Manly Sea Eagles. Tommy Turbo returns, and the Origin Stars for the Cowboys return.
It's a great game too, I reckon. It's a great game of. This round is great. I reckon there's some really good matchups.
I'm going the Manly Sea Eagles. $2.
Okay.
$2.06.
Yeah, that's the one I think I like. Just because I've been off. I've been a bit of a hater of the Cowboys this year. I've been pretty like, they've got shit defense, they're a shit side,
But they're in the 8 with 2 buys to go.
They've won like 4 or 5 on the trot. Did they win?
Yeah, against Penrith.
Yeah, of course. Yep. So yeah, there you go. And they'd won like 4 prior to that.
And they beat the Roosters.
And just that factor of like what Gus Gould was saying last year, like the only team he thought that could beat Penrith last year was the Cowboys because of the amount of Origin stars they've got, and that really should be translating better. If they can just tweak their defense a little bit and just like let that attack hum. I'm thinking I want to take an upset here. The Cowboys at home. I just think they're going so well.
It's not really an upset if they're the favourites.
Are they the favourites?
$1.74.
Okay, well, I'll take them. I like a favourite.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Roosters play the St. George Illawarra Dragons at home. The Roosters $1.21. Dragons $4.30.
Yeah, Roosters, sure.
I'll go the Roosters. And the Canberra Raiders play the Newcastle Knights. Raiders are paying $2.26. The Knights are paying $1.62.
Good matchup too. Like they're just.
Kalen Ponga is back.
These sides still sort of kind of feel like similar-ish. Like I feel like Canberra were doing well and kind of a bit on the decline, and Knights were sort of just plodding along, and I feel like there's a little bit of lift in them now with Ponga this week. Great matchup.
Yeah, so who are you going?
Is there a bounce back? I think there's. Oh fuck! Who are you picking?
The Knights.
Yeah, I'll go them too. I really want to pick the Wars for the Ricky factor, but the Ponga.
Yeah, I don't mind it because it's at Canberra Raiders' home ground. If you go all my selections, you'll get $46.05 for a multi. If you go Timmy's selections, you'll get $21.57 for the multi. Use picklebet.com.au. Use the code TURBO. No, you can't. Actually, you can.
I want to change to that last one. I decided I want to go Canberra. I think there's.
Did you see the multi and just think,
No. I just thought to myself, they need this win, man. They need it. There comes a certain time when the teams had too many losses in a row, and this is the.
You know what we've seen this year too, the Warriors when SJ's come back into the side, the Cowboys when their Origin players come into the side. These sides are playing worse because they're relying on the better players to get them out of trouble. When Kalen Ponga comes back into this side, are they going to go back to relying on Ponga just to do everything? They need to make sure they keep playing the way they're playing. And I feel like Canberra,
I like Canberra this week.
I think I'll go with you.
Yeah, I really feel you're going to rally them. I don't feel like the Knights need it as much because they have less belief in what they're. Whoa, they're both on 18 competition points. In my mind, they're 11th and 12th. In my mind, Canberra was sitting, 4 points clear at least, like 2 wins clear at least.
Yeah, no, they're really close.
Yeah, they do need it more because they've been thereabouts.
All right. Cool. There are our tips for the week. Head over to picklebet.com.au. Use the code TURBO when signing up. Timmy, you've got a game.
Yeah, I've got a quick little game for you. Let me just open my notes. Get out. I've got so many notes this week. I'm such a notey guy.
Prepared person.
Yeah, just like life notes, just reminders and stuff.
Shout out to the games we played last week. So I uploaded them all. Since it was Origin related, I uploaded 2 on Wednesday and 1 on Thursday. They'll do very well on the socials. I think actually the one you came up with, choose a team to save your life. You pretty much gave me the option between the 2 Origin sides, position by position. That got 45,000 views on TikTok and did very well on Instagram Reels as well. And I feel like that was a segment you came up with, so good job.
Oh, thank you.
Our This or That got 20,000 on TikTok, and our Build a Young Spine got 36,000 on TikTok. So turning into the marketing geniuses.
Yes. I've got a bit of a this or that for you this week, and it's a bit mixed. For the most part, it's kind of, I guess you could consider it if you were to, you pick a new NRL, you're now the 18th NRL side, and you can pick halves combinations, I guess, from you'll get the drift.
So remember, you've got to start it
short,
with the heading short.
Okay. So this or that. You happy with that? Okay, yeah. This or that. Nathan Cleary and Luke Brooks. Or
no, you got to start the this or that. You got to be like, this or that, building an NRL club.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm learning.
I'm not going to cut this out either. This is the process, guys. This is what you got to think of when you're putting short videos up.
Okay, so this or that, picking your NRL side. What do you pick?
Building a new club.
Oh, building a new club.
Building an 18th team.
Yep. This or that, building an 18th club. Nathan Cleary and Luke Brooks, or DCE and Jerome Luai?
Or Nathan Cleary and Luke Brooks, because I think DCE's age, you can't really build a club with that. You're picking him for the premiership window now.
I like that. Okay. Next one, Mitch Moses and Luke Keary, or Sam Walker and Dylan Brown?
Or Mitch Moses and Luke Keary. Actually, no. Sam Walker and Dylan Brown.
Yeah, I like that too. It's a fun game. It was tough to pick the match.
Is that it?
No, I've got more. It was tough to pick them because you've got to make sure they're equal. Otherwise, it's just so...
How are you building the team with 2 lots of halves?
I was not building a whole team. I'm just... No, yeah, so maybe you got the concept wrong. I'm just trying to give you halfback and 5'8" from one team and a halfback and 5'8" from another team, and you're mixing. You've got to pick the combination. So they've got to break up, and form new partnerships.
Okay,
you know what I mean.
Yep.
So I did title it how you want. Maybe take that title away.
Yep. Have you got any more?
Yes, it's a bit different.
World's longest segment.
Sorry.
This shouldn't be.
Isaiah Yeo and Reece Walsh, or Pat Carrigan and Dylan Edwards.
Isaiah Yeo and Reece Walsh. Oh, shit. Either of them are elite. I seriously...
Good game.
Give me either. I don't care.
You have to pick. You're picking a side, bro.
Isaiah Yeo and Reece Walsh. Was my first thought.
You're like, I don't want to be judged on either of those selections.
I know.
That's great. Next one. Nico Hines and Tyrrell Sloan, or Ben Hunt and Will Kennedy?
Nico Hines and Tyrell Sloan.
Okay.
Will Kennedy is...
You're not a fan.
No,
let's not shit on him too much. Brandon Smith. Okay, this one's they're at their clubs. The other ones I was mixing them up. So which one would you want? Brandon Smith and James Tedesco, or Harry Grant and Ryan Pappenhausen to start your club next year?
Harry Grant and Ryan Pappenhausen.
Yeah, I think I get that. I think 'cause Teddy makes up for Pappy. They sort of took away. Yeah. And then I've got one sort of a bit of a blast from the past. Cam Smith and Brad Fittler, or Denny Badiris and Darren Lockyer.
Cam Smith and Brad Fittler.
Me too.
Cam Smith's the best player of all time.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, nice picks there.
You like it?
Yeah, good game.
All right. So it's going to do a build a spine. I think the last week did really well with the like the young spine. I think that was a fun segment.
It was. I was
going to try and do like build a spine with the old players, but I couldn't really think of too many. Like there was Gutherson as a fullback and Rapana, but it's so obvious. Like you're going to choose DC at halfback, of course. So I've just gone this player or that player for wingers.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm just picking one or the other.
No. So don't speak.
Okay.
So don't speak. And okay. So Brian To'o, he is coming leaps and bounds as one of the best wingers of all time. So don't speak until I say a better player than Brian To'o, Blake Ferguson, Josh Adokar, Matt Utai, Hazamel Masri, Alex Johnston, Darius Boyd, Lottie Takiri, Wendell Saylor, Denon Kemp, Brett Morris, Zach Lomax, Jared Hayne.
Yep. Jared Hayne. He was better. Different position. I guess he has played on the wing.
For Origin he has.
Yeah. More of a fullback. So I guess I'm picturing him as that fullback, sort of just ripping sides apart, just the speed. Yeah, so much talent.
Cool. What do you think? Like, that was my last one. I didn't have any more on the list, so I'm glad you spoke then. But
I was close to Wendell.
Who do you think the best winger of all time is?
Wendell's like very nostalgic for me. I remember I used to have a little a teddy bear that was wearing a sailor outfit, and I used to call it Wendell. I was at that age. I wasn't in year 6 or anything. I wasn't at a good age to be having a teddy called Wendell. But yeah, go on. What was your...
Who's the best winger of all time?
Best winger of all time.
Like, I legit have a mind blank when I'm thinking of wingers. Like, is there Folau up there? Is, like... I feel like Brett Morris
that's the first name that came into my head, but then I'll let that pass for To'o.
Is Brian To'o the greatest winger of all time?
He probably is.
Because Jared Hayne won't be in that conversation, but he is for Origin, I guess. Because I just, for some reason, I've been seeing a lot of highlights of him playing on the wing Origin recently.
To'o's probably a better winger than Jared Hayne anyway.
Yeah.
But Jared Hayne's a better football player just because he offers more. He's got more tricks in his
arsenal.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you for tuning in for On The Burst this week, our NRL show. Got anything to finish the show with?
No.
Back to the Supercoach.
The punch-ons are getting closer though. I feel like they're creeping up in like there's sort of a bit of niggle each week, and then there's the
Corey Horsburgh.
I reckon there's one coming in NRL this year, like a legit punch.
Like a legit punch?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. He got 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
People are getting 3-4 weeks for just doing like head highs and stuff. Like, I don't reckon, bring it back. bring it back. Take what's 3 to 4 weeks when
Take
you're at the
his head
bottom,
off.
bottom. Just bring it back.
No, they're nitpicking at all these stupid penalties. Just someone take it into their own hands. Make them focus on the punch so these penalties don't exist. Yeah. All right. Cheers for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.